Hey pilots, DrainMan here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to set up switches on your quadcopter. So, you have a drone, you bought it, you got it ready to go, you watched a ton of videos, you have it bound, you are ready to fly it, but you don't know how to set up switches. This is the video for you. Alright pilots, we're going to go ahead and set this up now. What I want you guys to do is go to the drone that you are trying to set up switches for. What does setting up switches mean? Setting up switches means to let your quadcopter know that when you do this, you want it to arm. When you do this, you want it to disarm. When you want to go into turtle mode, you are going to do this. And when you want the beeper to sound, you are going to do this. These are just a few of the very few of the examples of what you can do with these switches. We'll do even more about setting up switches. But for now, let's just get the switches set up so you can fly that drone. Okay guys, I want you to go ahead and press menu. Then you're going to get over to here, and this is where you can see your models. If you notice, there is a little star next to the model in which I am selected. So let me zoom in on the screen just a little bit. Alright guys, one other thing. What we're going to do as far as switches, we are going to set up an arm switch, a turtle mode switch, and a beeper switch. We're going to keep it simple so that you can get the basics and you can get up in the air. After that, you can use that same process to set up more switches if you'd like more switches. So, once you have the star next to the model that you're doing, right now if you're new, you probably only have one model and that'll probably be it. I want you to press page. I want you to pass model setup, pass flight modes, and get over to the inputs. These are your four basic inputs. That is going to be aux 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those have to be there at all times because that is your throttle, your yaw, your pitch, and your roll. You have to have those guys. So I want you to go down, and if you're in a QX7, you'll just use your wheel to spin right now, and I want you to head down to the fifth option, which for us is going to be aux 1 because the first four are considered just standard and are already there. So go ahead and hit enter to select that one. So now you are inside of the fifth option, channel 5 or aux 1. That's how we'll handle that. So if you want to do this properly, what you'll do is you'll click the name, and this one for us is going to be arm. So I don't want to waste a lot of time, going through the names and stuff. So I'm going to name this one just to show you, but after that we're not going to name anymore. You do not have to name these, guys. Just to let you know, I no longer name mine because I don't need to, but if you want to, you can. Forget the line name. Go to the source, and what the source means is that is the source of what this one is going to do. As you can see, it's no longer called 5. It is now called ARM because we changed the name. So what are we going to do? We're going to select it by pressing enter. You see it flashing. That means we have selected it. And what we are going to do is we are going to go boom. Alright? So by moving this switch, we have told the remote that this is what we want to be on that one. So as you can see, it is now SF, which is the name of that switch. So press exit one time and then press exit for a second time, and then very last to exit this channel that we are on, press it one more time. You're going to go down to number 6, select it, go to the source. For this source, we are going to do turtle mode. So as you can see, it has switched to S2. That is turtle mode. I'm going to press exit now, and I'm going to go to the 7th one, and I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to go down to source, and then I'm going to set my beeper up on this momentary switch right here. Alright, so now we have all of our inputs set up. So we should be able to plug in a Betaflight and go, right? Wrong. You cannot. Now what you have to do is tell the radio to actually do what we have set up. And that's not as hard as it sounds. What we're going to do is we're just going to get back to the inputs. We're going to press exit one time, and then we are going, I think we need to hit page, and now we are over in the mixer. Very good. So this is where you are going to identify the channel for the remote to know what it's doing with it. There's probably a better sentence to explain that term, but we're going to roll with this. So go to channel 5, which as we know now is aux 1, and also it is the ARM. So I'm going to press enter, And as you can see, as soon as I press enter, it registered and realized, hey, he wants to have this set up. So we went ahead and set that up. Now, this stuff gets very, very technical, and you can do a lot of very cool things, but we are not there yet, guys. Right now, we are just going to set up the basic switches. So press exit, exit again, go down to number 6, press enter, press exit, go down to 7, press enter, press exit. Alright, so we now have told this Taranis that we want aux 1 here, we want aux 2 here, and we want aux 3 here. That is what we just did. So if you did that with me, you should be good to go. And you could have chose different switches. You didn't have to do it the way that I did it. But as long as you've done the basic thing that I just did, you'll be good to go. So we're going to press exit now, and we are going to jump over into Betaflight. Alright pilots, now we are inside of Betaflight, and the next thing I need you to do is power up your quad. Make sure your receiver is connected. Power up your quad. And then go ahead and make sure your Taranis is on and that it's set to that model. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the receivers tab. Let's give everything a move around. Make sure we're looking good. If your quadcopter is freaking out right here, that's okay. I have a video for that. Also, if you see I am rolling a little bit, do you see my quads moving? I also have a video for that. So what I want you to do is come over to your modes. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the arm switch, the one that we decided we were going to arm with. Okay? So now I have a yellow line. So that would be off, and that would be arm. So our goal here is to go ahead and set this yellow bar over this. Some pilots like to, you know, go like this and have it ever so perfect. So when it's off, and when it's on, it's on. It really doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. You can even do this number here if you wanted to. Off and on. I don't know what is safe practice, what is good practice. I leave it just like that. So that would be armed, that would be disarmed. Alright, so now that we have our arm set up, we are going to go ahead and go to the next thing. Let's go to our beeper. We're going to go ahead and say that beeper wasn't highlighted. There was nothing there. You would go ahead and press add range. You can leave it on auto, and then what you're going to do is move the switch that we're using. So you see that? So in this position, I want the switch to be off. So I'm going to leave it in the gray area, and when it's here, I want it to be on. So off, on. Alright pilots, so now we are ready to set up our turtle. We're going to come over to flip over after crash. We're going to add range. You can leave it on auto. Flip the switch that we have chosen. Now, again, when you're in the position you want to be, that's where you put the yellow. So I want to be when the switch is down. So I'm going to move the yellow right there while the switch is down. I'm going to move the switch up, and that's going to be my off position. But this is a 3-position switch. That means there's a spot here. You have the option to add another range and add something, another auxiliary, and have something happen in the in the middle position of the 3-position switch. See what's happening? So what I don't want that right now though. All I want is no matter what, even if the switch is here or here, doesn't matter. I only want my turtle mode or flip over after crash to come on when I'm all the way in the last position. Alright, and then we're going to click save, and our switches are now set up. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you on the next one.